So now I have painted my lightsaber. Here's my lightsaber hilt here. Looks really nice here. My lightsaber emitter section looks nice. My pommel section came out really good. And don't forget to paint your cubes. Now, I did try the Killer Cans Killer Chrome from the Alsa Corporation, and it did not give me a chrome look on my lightsaber. It did give me a chroming effect, but it did not give me the smooth chrome I was hoping for. I might have done something wrong, I don't know, but if you had better luck with it, then I say go right ahead. I did try the silver spray paint by Rust-Oleum, but for me it did not work as well too. I found the paint to be very runny, and there were some gray splotches here and there in the paint, so I had to get rid of that paint as well. The paint that I did find useful was the Rust-Oleum metallic titanium silver spray paint. This stuff here actually worked out very nice for my lightsaber, and I'm very happy with the paint job and the silver effect that it gave me, so I would probably use this. Now, just before you paint your lightsaber here, what I recommend doing is that you could take your PVC pipe here, stick it into your handle, and in the back section here where your Covertech ring is going to go to, drill a hole out almost as big as your number 6 self-tapper here, all the way through, and then insert your number 6 self-tapper screw to the back of your handle. What it'll do is it'll hold the PVC pipe and your handle in place. And what I did was I just painted the whole thing black first, and then in the end I just taped this up over here, and leave this top section here unpainted for gluing later, and I just painted it all silver. So this actually came out really nice here, so I'm very happy with it. For my emitter head here, before you paint this, you want to drill out the 3 holes here in the middle with the drill bit provided with your 8/32 tap. And if you remember here on your left and your right holes, is to take the drill bit provided with your 6/32 tap and drill out your left hole here, and then paint this. It'll come out really nice. Also, previously, all my rubber slip joint washers here, I had them originally at 1/16 of an inch separated apart. Now, I was going by the blueprint. You know, it did look good, but it kind of looked cluttered. But I also found a problem too. These holes here in my emitter head were lining up with my rubber slip joint washers, and I don't want that, because when I drill out these and I put my screws into them, they'll go right into the slip joint washers, and it'll break these up, and you don't want that. So keep this bottom slip joint washer and this slip joint washer here the same measurements. You're going to want to make all the slip joint washers above this one here, make these all 1/8 of an inch apart, and then spray it. So therefore, when you do screw this piece on and you glue it, that the screws will not interfere with your rubber slip joint washers. Okay, now we're going to make our mock activation button. Take your lockup caps, just take one of them, mix up a batch of 5-minute regular epoxy. What you're going to do is fill up the lockup cap just halfway with your 5-minute epoxy, and take your 6/32 machine screw here with this flat end. You're going to take this flat end and place it on the inside of your lockup cap. Place it center with your cap and let the epoxy cure. And here is your mock activation button right here. Once the epoxy cures, just spray paint this red. To glue your cubes onto your pommel section, it's very simple. Just go to your Dremel tool, and if you have one of these bits included with your kit here, use this bit. It looks like it is good for gouging out wood and stuff like that. And put it on your Dremel tool, and using a low RPM, if you go to your pommel section, you can see where the holes here are drilled out for your cube placements here. Just take that bit, just go around by the center of the hole and just kind of remove some of the paint with it, exposing some of the PVC, and then mixing up a small batch of 5-minute perma-epoxy. Place it on the recessed curve that you made on your cubes here, and epoxy it right over the hole here on your pommel section. Just let the epoxy cure, and in case if you do have a bad cube here, place it on the back of your pommel. And if you don't know where that is, just make sure that your cut rubber slip joint washers here are on this side, and this is the back section of your pommel. So just do that for all of your cubes here, and let the epoxy cure. Now we're going to install the screws here in our emitter section. Take your emitter section and slide it over your lightsaber body. Make sure that this middle hole here does not read on your rubber slip joint washers, because you don't want to drill into these guys. Take your drill bit provided with your 8/32 tap and drill into this hole into your PVC pipe. Remove it and then tap it with your 8/32 tap into the metal and into the PVC pipe. Do this for this one hole here, and take your 8/32 by 7/16 inch long cap screw here and screw this into your emitter housing all the way into your PVC pipe. Now this screw here is going to hold your emitter head here in place onto your saber body. Once you have that, do the same for the other two holes here on your emitter head. And once you have that done, your emitter head is going to stay in place. Now also on the left side of your hole over here, do the same with your 6/32 tap and drill bit here. This will serve for your mock activation button. At this point as well too, you could also install the button here from your CoverTech clip. And on your pommel side here, measure 1 inch from the edge of your rubber slip joint washer up and cut off with a hacksaw. Be careful if you do have wires here so that you don't cut them. Now we have our number 8 screws and our mock activation button here installed on our emitter head. We can focus our attention now to the emitter ring. Now on your emitter ring, if you look down at here, you won't see it here, but here's what's happening. If you look down your emitter ring here, you're going to see that there's a big gap between your emitter ring and your saber body. So what we have to do is we have to fill that area in with epoxy, but we just can't pour epoxy in there. So I'm taking some paper towels, I rolled them up, and I pushed them and compacted them here into my emitter ring. So when you compact them down, make sure that the tissue paper does not protrude up on your ring over here, and that it does not protrude down here below your ring. If some protrudes down, it's fine, but mainly you don't want to have anything showing on top or the bottom. And once you have it compacted down, take a regular sandwich bag, cut a hole in the corner here, mix up a batch of regular 5-minute epoxy, put it into your bag, and then squirt the epoxy into your emitter ring up to this rim. Now that our epoxy has fully cured in our emitter ring, we're going to take our lightsaber now, we're going to turn it upside down, and if you have any tissue paper or paper towels, whatever you use to put in your emitter ring, if they're kind of sticking up here underneath your emitter ring here, take your other syringe and just kind of push it back down into place. Now do this all the way around in case that if you have any of the paper sticking out, and take your syringe, mix up a batch of regular 5-minute epoxy, put it into your syringe, and you're going to inject the epoxy into the underneath of your emitter ring and let the epoxy cure. Now that the epoxy has cured on top and it's cured underneath our emitter ring, we can now focus our attention to the grip pattern again. On Obi Wan's grip pattern, there is a chrome insert which goes on the inside of his lightsaber. So to achieve this, take your 12-inch long, 1.25 inch chrome extension tube out of its package. Make a mark on the top here and the bottom here, and you're going to make these marks approximately 3 inches long. Bring the mark around and then bring the mark back up again to your other mark. This will be the chrome insert that will go inside Obi Wan's grip pattern. So take your Dremel tool with a cutoff wheel, cut right on the black mark and deburr your edges. And here I have inserted my chrome insert into my Obi Wan lightsaber. It does look very good here, I'm happy with it. I would recommend if you do not paint it, because if you paint it and push it in, what's going to happen is that the paint's probably going to scrape off and then it will not look good inside your lightsaber handle. So I leave it alone just the way that it is. So moving along, on Obi Wan's emitter, across from his activation button, there is an adjustment knob button which goes right here on our right hole. So to make that piece, you're going to take your twist on F connector here for RG59 cable, and you're going to cut it right here at this line. So once you cut at that line, you basically just cut it in half. Take your Dremel tool with your sanding drum and sand the part where you just cut it at so that this knob will fit contour onto your emitter head. Now once you have that cut in place, we're going to have to glue that piece onto over our right hole. So even though right now we have paint all over here, we have to get rid of some of this paint so the glue could bite onto our metal. So you're going to take this bit right here, and using the low RPM setting on your Dremel tool, just shave away some of the paint right around this right hole. And then using 5-minute perma epoxy, mix up a batch of that and insert it into the inside of your knob and push the glue down over to your right hole and let the epoxy cure.